My sister scheduled her wedding on my son's birthday, and she wants us to choose her.
Well, maybe your son shouldn't have been born on that day. Poor planning.
My husband's sister got engaged in July 2024. We got excited for her. Our only son's birthday, her nephew's birthday, is on the 25th of April, 2025. As it is a Friday, we had planned to do a combined birthday party, christening, a naming ceremony on the 26th of April to allow people to attend without taking a day off. However, in November 2024, my sister-in-law told my husband and I that she was getting married on the 26th of April. By the way, this comes from user SillyScone555, and if you want to submit your own stories, submit it to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, we told her that it was tricky because it was around his birthday and we had plans. She told us we were effectively stupid because she only gets married once and her nephew's first birthday meant nothing to her. She said we were effectively stupid because of other family members were born on Christmas Eve, and they had no problems with that. She also pointed out that one of her cousins shares a birthday with their son, so that means it's okay for two things to be on the same day. She said we were crazy because it's not like she's getting married on his actual birthday.
Yeah.
As the day she plans to marry was the day after his actual birthday. So she probably maybe even took it into consideration.
I feel like, yeah, she's like, I'm not even getting married on his birthday.
Like, I know whose day was yesterday, and we're going to party on the 25th, and then the wedding day is going to be the party for that day, and then we're all going to celebrate on the 27th. We explained our reasoning for the Saturday date. She then said she spoke to the venue and they would allow her to move her date to the next weekend. But then she came back and said that actually she wouldn't move it because international guests had already booked their tickets. It turns out she had set a date in June, booked venues, and sorted everything out. Plus, guests had booked tickets 4 months before she told us anything. We told her we wished we could attend her whole wedding, but because it's a milestone birthday, the first birthday following a traumatic birth and pregnancy, previous miscarriage, we really wanted to press ahead with our plans. We told her we'd do our event in the morning and join her in the afternoon.
I kind of think you're the a-hole here, OP. I don't know, I don't know if maybe you guys will disagree with us, but why it's not on his actual birthday.
Yeah, it's not the actual.
Just do it on Sunday.
What is one more day?
It's your sister-in-law's wedding. Come on,
weddings,
push it a day.
Yeah, weddings don't happen, sure, you can renew your vows, but weddings only do happen once unless if you get divorced.
Yeah.
Shout out to that. But, yeah, birthdays happen more. I mean, this is the first birthday. The 1-year-old's not going to remember this. I know you want to make this moment very cherishable and you want to remember all of this and, love your son as much as you want.
Yeah, the problem isn't that you should totally nix the whole idea. It's just push it
a day. We've since found out that 1, she had planned everything while keeping us in the dark for months. 2, we were in the last in her circle to know. Her only sibling is my husband. 3, she's actually getting married on our son's birthday, the Friday, in a civil ceremony. 4, she's having a second service on the next date, on the date we planned on our son's christening and birthday party. 5, her bridal shower was scheduled on the same day I had my baby shower last year.
Okay. So she's trying to. Okay. Maybe we're having a little bit of a-hole reversal here. We'll see.
One date is a coincidence, but now I'm not sure what to think after she took the 3 dates we've associated with our son so far. My husband told sister-in-law we would proceed to celebrate our son at his party as everything was in place, but would join her later. He feels that his family has been clear about not caring for our son. Again, his sister took around 2 months to meet him, despite living in the same country, and his mom took 4 months because she traveled a month before he was due and returned 3 months after he was born. When she went to travel, she asked my husband to leave me at home when I was 8 months pregnant with a difficult pregnancy and go and stay with his dad in another city because his dad was undergoing tests. His sister has since been very cold and has sent her parents to guilt us. Her mom had a proper wail and blamed us for everything and tried to pressure us. Sister-in-law since has said that when she tried to change her date, her mom stopped her. It seems mother-in-law and sister-in-law had planned everything out months before. For a bit of a background and context, we had been no contact with mother-in-law until a year ago because of her, me, then encouraging our community and her wider family to shun me and as well. She apologized for it a year ago, but has displayed very concerning behavior. I've been trying to give her a chance. She teamed up with a family member of mine who mistreated me because I have a history of abuse. Oh no. She then went around telling people, including the person who officiated our wedding, to take me, having been mistreated, with a pinch of salt. She said I was divisive because I chose not to be around my or allow their sister to force me to be around them. So she then thwarted her chance to play happy families with them.
It sounds like your mother-in-law is pretty sucky.
100%.
I am wondering how this like comes back around to the
Sister.
sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law is the golden child.
Yeah. So maybe
Sister-in-law's the
like
golden
they're
child.
always try and like thwart any of your
Mhm.
plans.
Like, oh, you should put
Yeah.
it on that date.
Yeah.
I put boundaries with my family to avoid further emotional because I still have PTSD. And she then tag teamed me with them and used that information to hurt me after my husband had warned them about how damaging the female member from my family was. My husband had not known his mother could be this evil. We were heartbroken. I've been in therapy for 6 years now. He warned her to be careful how she associated with the so that she'd understand how vulnerable and sensitive things were. But he did not know she would take that information to then strategize to then destroy me.
Yeah. You need to maybe go very
That's-
limited to no contact with your mother-in-law.
That
Because
is pertinent information.
yeah. Yeah. She's like actively working, like plotting against you.
She went and gave the villain more power.
Yeah, I think it's time to maybe limit contact with your mother-in-law.
I'm still heartbroken, but I've had no choice but to keep moving so I don't break down. My mother-in-law has also been cold to me since. She sent me an invitation to the bridal shower before it happened, but her messages were really cold. It was just, here's the information for the bridal shower, and this is the amount you should pay. I honestly think and feel that his family purposely put him in positions to choose between his wife and them. But now that our son is born, it's now about making him choose between his son and them. He thinks this too. And because of that, and because of how important the christening and party was, he's decided to put a boundary.
Good.
I'm just really sad because I was so ill when I was pregnant. I was bullied at work. They were worried my son was in danger, and I was hospitalized before he was born, and I had preeclampsia and was in and out of the hospital. And so was my son. I am therefore just exhausted, vulnerable, and so very sad. I didn't realize how broken I've been until I've written this. I try not to think because I can't afford to ever break down. Me and my husband are all our son has because both our families show they give zero crap about us. That is just background context. But as things stand, my sister-in-law has been cold to my husband and myself. Even at the engagement party, she and her parents asked us to host for her. We did it because we love her despite everything. She was so cold to us there. When our son was hospitalized for 10 days, she only texted my husband once and never checked in again. In the first 4 weeks he was born, I used to send her updates, but I stopped and she sounded disinterested. She doesn't check in anymore. He has seen her 3 times in almost a year, and my son doesn't know his aunt. But I know you, and you, and you, that you can join us by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's a little bit more to this story, but Sophia, I mean, this
I'm gonna have to remove the a-hole status that I temporarily placed on OP.
Yeah.
Because with all of the stuff that has come to light, it seems like it's not just this one situation.
Yeah.
Because again, if it was this one situation, it would have been like, why can't we move
just
it?
But
I think this is part of it's part of a greater issue where your mother-in-law and your sister-in-law are clearly working against you. And I think it's just like you have to kind of limit contact.
There's no point.
Yeah.
There's no point. You don't owe him anything.
I think maybe even no contact with your mother-in-law if she's actively trying to like work with your abuser.
I would be no contact immediately if I found out about that.
Yeah.
You're just supporting someone who hates me and has given me PTSD. And you're willingly doing that. Great. That's
it's like,
I'm
bye.
done with you.
Never talking to you again.
I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but I wanted to give a bit of context to explain why I'm concerned as to whether this was just a case of bad planning or whether there's an intentive shadiness to it. Even if there is, I think we are compromising by still going to the afternoon of her wedding. But her response, which is extreme anger, is making me wonder if we're being a-holes. What do you think? Are we the a-holes? No.
I think under normal circumstances you would be, but
if there was no
but we have a lot of context.
If there was no background context, yes. But since there is this overlapping boundary of her ruining your son's day or like just ruining days that you had planned already, and not giving you that context or giving you the time to plan things, there might be a motive.
I do think that you should have a conversation before you make any decisions, though, with your have a more in-depth conversation with your sister-in-law.
You know who should do it though?
Husband.
The husband.
Yeah.
Husband. That's his sister.
Have him talk with his sister.
Like,
say
hey, what's going on?
have you been planning this on purpose? And she might lie. You know, we don't know if she'll tell the truth, but it's good to have that conversation before the wedding.
I think we both wholeheartedly agree. Cut contact with mother-in-law.
Yeah.
What she did was messed up.
But that is the end of that story. So we're going to jump into the next one.
Stay right there.